Hello, friends. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. You're probably wondering, why are you wearing a sweatshirt that says Penn State Grandpa? Because I'm a grandpa, but I'm not a Penn State grandpa. This was given to me by Sarah Rookruck Roosh. I guess she was at some place and they had like a bunch of like sweatshirts and hoodies for like $2. So she actually bought these and said, here. She gave them to me at the Great Food Giveaway when we were at Irvine's a couple months back. So there you go. That's fun, though. I like the gear. It's more for it's comfortable and keeps me warm in my never-ending quest to for all of my days going forward to be wearing sweatshirts, and hoodies. This show originates in the Impact Power Sports studio, online at impactpowersportsmi.com. They are in Rockford, Michigan, along 14 Mile Road. You can check them out and shop for a golf cart. My parents never had any cool shit like that. You know, I don't remember anything like that. We didn't have a camper. We didn't have a. I think we had a pop-up before I was born. I take it back. I think Dad bought a bunch of motorcycles way back in the day, old dirt bikes. Jeremy says, you're really leaning into that Mr. Pop persona with that sweatshirt. And it's funny because underneath it, I've got the Mr. Pop t-shirt on that runner girl Amy gave me because she loves me. Thank you. I appreciate that. It seems like all the clothes I wear are from like stuff people's given me. Not yesterday, though. I actually went and purchased some clothes. But not clothes that I'm going to wear other than tonight. I went to a vintage clothing store to buy a outfit for Flint Tropics night from the film Semi-Pro with the Grand Rapids Gold. Megan says, did you go to Captain Bizarro's to see Tim? Just down the road from Tim on Leonard. I went to that store, Flashback. Stevie says, let's see what you got. Well, I don't want to do that. I want to be in my gear. I want to get dressed up, and then Pooh Bear will take the picture, and then I'll post it for you. But I walked in there, and right away, hit it off with the nice lady who works there. And I told her what was up. Within seconds, we had the jacket, and then I got the pants. Stevie says, Perry, I know her. Yeah, she's sweet. So we hit it off. We had some nice conversation, and I think I'm going to try to approach her about the podcast. Well, I ended up spending $116 there on this gear, and because I wanted to look good. The boss at the basketball team said dress 70s, and I don't have any gear like that, so I said I'm going all out. So I got the jacket, I got the pants, I got the 1970s style shoes, and this tie is ridiculous, and there's a gold chain that's going to go over the shirt that I have underneath the jacket, and I got a nice pair of 70s sunglasses, and a hat. I have a hat that I'm going to be wearing. Murder Lover Linda says, can you do an expense report? Well, of course. This is a tax write-off. Bob says, going as Starsky and Hutch. Yeah, a little Paul Michael Glazer going on there. But I actually wanted to make it look like I didn't want to dress up like a pimp. I changed my mind on that. Plus, they didn't have what I needed. But it makes more sense for me to look like a broadcaster or, in this case, a PA announcer with the Grand Rapids Gold. So now at these games, me alone being there is worth the price of admission. Like if there was no basketball going on, it would still be worth the price of admission to just have me there, just to look at me, even without the 70s gear. But this is going to be fantastic, so I'm excited about it. I'll have pictures for you playing the part of whatever, idiot from the 1970s wearing a stupid outfit. So I will post that for you. But so we go through the whole thing. She gets me the what I need, and she doesn't have a hat though. She says, go down and see Tim at Bizarro's. I'm like, all right. So I'm getting ready to leave, and I'm paying her for the gear. And then I see in my peripheral vision, did I say that right? Periphery? What looks to be a giant walking into the store. And I look, and it's a woman who's about 6'5". Older. These are all like really outgoing people, by the way. People who own these stores tend to be, I don't know, they just have a spirit about them. And I make eye contact with her. And I said, well, hello. She said, hello to you. She talks to Perry. She knows her. And so she kind of gets caught up to speed, tall lady, as to what's happening. And then she goes, well, I got a hat. I go, you got a hat? She goes, yeah, it's at my house. I live right behind here. I go, well, go get the hat. She goes, I think it'll work. Comes back with the hat, gives it to me. And the next part, I kind of forget. Chris says they're grown-up theater kids. Yeah, exactly. They have the vibe of theater kids. You know, the spirit of a young theater person. That doesn't change. The next part's kind of a blur. But I think it went, I got the name of tall lady. And I forget what it was. I think it was Chi. C-H-I? C-H-E-E? I don't know. I go, oh, okay. Perry Chi. And then she says, it used to be, and then says like a man name. She said, Chi used to be Paul. And then I'm like, oh, okay. That tells me that Stevie says, I know her too. Okay, good. So we immediately hit it off. And I don't know the previous name, but it's apparent to me that she, I don't know what on the 28th of February, 2025, if Chi is a dude or a chick or was a dude and is now a chick, like, a person who's transgender. But I'm going to ask because I said, oh, you're transgender. And then immediately when I said that, she didn't like wrinkle up her face or anything like that, but I think she wasn't quite sure of the next few sentences that were going to happen. She goes, well, and then it was kind of like that. Amanda says, you dumbass, you ask what the pronouns are. Oh, okay. So in the future, if I'm ever faced with this again, I should say, oh, what are the pronouns I'm using? I didn't know that. I just said, are you transgender? And I said it like that, which if you're on the receiving end of that, you don't know if I'm like now being an asshole or so. I think that's kind of fucked up that I asked that question. And everybody seems to agree in the chat that I like Corey says, awkward Zane strikes again. That's like going up to a gay person and going, oh, you're gay. I don't know if it's, I think you guys are making a big deal out of this. Then I said, Aram says he did that before at a wedding. Yeah, I did do that before. I'll get to that in a second. That's a good reminder. So then I said, I love transgender people. My daughter is marrying a transgender person, transgender man. And so I think that, I don't know if that, I think it kind of softened this. But I really liked her. She's as sweet as peaches. But I kind of just, I feel like I'm an idiot. I feel like that was really bad now that you guys are all beating me up about it because I wasn't sure at first. Corey says, no boundaries, Eric, quote, so do you still have a PP or no? Now that's just ridiculous. Chris says it's tough because you don't mean malice. Well, yeah, but I don't think it was malice. There was any malice at all there. Amanda says, I don't believe in pronouns, but I respect people who want to share them. Patrick says, I don't see an issue with what you said. You had no ill intentions. Well, of course not. I was as sweet as I always am to people when I meet them. And they had to have known that. I mean, I always try to engage with an appropriate level of energy to what I'm with, and I knew going into there that there would be that type of vibe there: just outgoing, friendly, sweet, kind, compassionate, courteous. A lot of people are parking on, and I was going to park on it too, but. Amanda's comment, I don't believe in pronouns. Can you expand on that? Because I don't know how you, what you mean. I don't believe in pronouns. Like you don't believe in them, like you don't believe in the Easter Bunny or Santa Claus? Corey, everybody's in the dark. Corey says, you mean like you don't think they exist? Megan says, how can you not believe in a pronoun? Jeremy says, you just use like 3 pronouns in a sentence. Corey says, do you believe in verbs and nouns? What about adjectives? Conjunction, junction, what's your function? She writes he or she. That's what I mean. Wait a minute. So you don't, like, you would call me just Eric and you wouldn't call me, you would never say, Eric over there. Yeah, he's going to the basketball game. Is that what you're suggesting? You don't believe in it or you don't use it? I'm I'm not attacking you yet. I will, but I'm not yet. I'm just trying to get all the information before I beat you up. Megan says, are you saying that you only believe in two pronouns? Corey says she doesn't think those words exist. Oh, I see. Now she writes, you are a he or a she, but if you want to choose, I'll respect that. Well, so like if I say I'm a she, you would think that I'm a he. Is that right? Is that what you're trying to say there? Corey says pronouns are fake news. That's a joke. Megan says, feels like maybe you don't, though, if you say that out loud. Okay, now people are starting to look at her voting record because she loves Trump and Musk. So now they're like, okay, I see. They're kind of like saying that your opinion on that lines up with when who you voted for is what they're suggesting. I haven't yet beat you up about it. Patrick says, I don't believe in prepositions. Those are bullshit. Corey says, don't get her started on conjunctions. Amanda says, does he see my comments anymore? I don't understand why you'd write that. I'm reading them in the order that they come in. Yeah, I've seen all your comments. That's how I've been able to make everybody turn on you, is by reading your comments. Amanda says, you are a he. Chris says, I'm guessing she means people choosing their own pronouns. Okay, so Chris is able to translate from, perhaps that's right, what you're saying, which it's crazy that audience members have to take what she says and like try to figure out what she says. But if you want to be a she, I'll do it, she says. Chris says, adverbs too confusing, too extreme. End adverbs. Lolly, 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 get your adverbs here. Amanda says, I'm done commenting. I said what I said. I'm going to work now. But what just happened here? Is it? I feel like Amanda said something, and then people started to like comment on her words, and then it seems like she kind of got mad. I don't even know if I need to do anything. I'm done commenting. I said what I said. I'm going to work now. I was just trying to figure out what you said. When you said you don't believe in, I forgot what you said. I don't believe in something. I don't believe in pronouns. And then everybody kind of like started to ask questions, and then you got all defensive about it. Aram says, what we have here is a failure to communicate. Megan says, we heard you loud and clear. Oh, no. Oh, you're so fucked. You're so fucked now. Jeremy says we have to translate from Amanda English to American English. Stevie says, have the day you voted for Amanda. Yeah, I'm thinking, this is what I'm thinking. That after you came here and planted your flag for some weird reason, I mean, we weren't even having that discussion. I was simply just talking about how I awkwardly wove my way into that conversation between Perry, Chi, and myself. Obviously, no harm intended by me. I don't know what would prompt you to suddenly plant that flag. Hey, guess what, guys? Hey, guess what? This is what I think. Hey. But whatever. It's the chat. If you want to go ahead and drop how you feel, it just confused me. So then once I got clarification, it took forever. But now she's back. She says, "Hey, I'm not driving yet. Hey, so I can do one more. You guys have good jokes. I don't believe in people choosing pronouns, but I'll respect it if you want me to." What I guess I don't believe in people choosing. Okay, so the pronoun is not something that you can pick there. So if I grow up as a boy, born a boy, hey, yeah, and I suddenly realize that I've been very uncomfortable in my own skin and I'm a woman. I want to be a woman. I am not allowed. You don't believe me in saying, hey, I'm a woman or a she. But you're like, yeah, no, I don't believe that, but I respect you for doing it. I think you're better off just not saying anything because you're trying to have your cake and eat it too. You can't, say, no, you can only be a man or a woman, but I respect the shit out of you for saying that you're a she. You know, you can't do that. You either got to say, fuck you, or, hey, that's cool. So if you say, fuck you with your pronoun choosing, I love you for doing it, though. You can't be straddling that fence, you fucking dumb twat. So stop acting like you're in tune with the transgender community with your dumb platitude of, I respect you, but fuck you. Okay? And for the record, nobody asked. You just busted in here like the goddamn Kool-Aid man, like you do all the time here. Hey, guess what, guys? You can't say your pronoun, but I love you because you are. I think Amanda today is an early nominee frontrunner for Asshole of the Day for handling this. And here I was telling a great story about how I put my foot in my mouth, and this fucking plus-size wildebeest rolls in here and drops that shit. Everybody here hopes you gain weight for the next weigh-in. My God. Way to bogart the chat with your bullshit. Everyone was having a good time. It's Friday. You know, everyone was, it was a big love fest. I've got another story where I look like a jackass because I always say the wrong thing at the wrong time. And you bust in here with this bullshit and then kind of try to veer off at the last second. That's what I'm guessing here. And you know what I love about all of this? I love how I let you put the noose around your neck. All right? It was textbook easy. What are you doing? God. I so think you would be better off if you just listened. If you just decided, I'm just going to listen today. You're the guy at the AA meeting who, when it's your turn, you can say, yeah, hey, I'm Eric, and I'm just going to listen to all you today. Yeah, that's what you should be. My God. I didn't even have the rabbit ears for it. It was these other legends in the chat who kind of like, wait, what's the fuck she talking about? And where's that coming from? What? Huh? More often than not, if Amanda's talking, there's people within earshot going, what? Huh? What the all right, guess what? Hey, guys! Megan says, easy, I think you can feel better about your interaction now. Corey's got some rough content, rough questions, or rough comments. Even worse than the shit I said. Jeremy says Amanda can only use nouns now. Amanda can only refer to Amanda as Amanda. Yeah, I don't even know. All right. Anyway, my new pals are Chi and Perry. I want you to go to Flashback on Leonard for this type of vintage clothing. They've moved a few times, so make sure you have the right location when you go there. Thank you to Perry for expertly coming up with my fashion choices. We had that hammered out in short order. And then thank you to Chi, who just showed up right place, right time, and went back to the place and got me the hat and gave it to me. And then I bought the hat off Chi. And then we kind of like reflected on it. This is what you do when you're in that type of vibe. Like I said, these folks are really, really, these are like the personalities in the community. After all of the purchase was made, she then broke down how it all happened on a cosmic level. I am not kidding you. This is how the conversation went. She said, I woke up today and I just looked at that hat and it's been sitting there just collecting dust. And then the next thing I know, I walk in and I jump into this conversation exactly at the time when you are talking about needing a hat that would go for this outfit. And, she had at this point had the background of me being a broadcaster at courtside. She was, you look great. I'm going to go get that hat. And that's, and she's like, and then I went, and it's just all way so cosmic. Way so cosmic. I go, you're darn right it is. I go, and you know what? Now we're friends for life. I'll be back. And I want to see you both again. Rebecca has just gotten in here. She says, morning, folks. Sorry I'm late. Chris says, where is that on, Leonard? Northwest? Yeah. Stevie says, where the BK used to be. I didn't even know that they got rid of that BK. Maureen says, Rebecca, you missed a good Amanda beat up. It was bizarre, Rebecca. It was totally bizarre. All I was doing was just telling a story about a interaction I had where I put my foot in my mouth with what I thought was a transgender person, and I think it is. It got kind of weird after that. My fault, but I brought it all back because my overwhelming charm kind of consumed these two individuals, and they fell in love with me. I have... this is how it is for me. When I meet someone, I give off such a genuine, real vibe that it isn't so much about they want to have sex with me, because I can't say that. I don't know if they wanted to have sex with me, but I do know for a fact that they love me. And that's all I crave, is just love. Everybody knows that. I am here to make friends. People that I will have in my orbit for the rest of my existence. And I added 2 more yesterday. Now think about this. I had been talking with you for the past 2 weeks about the only thing I have done in the past 2 weeks is go to the arena for basketball and hockey. That is it. My first trip out in 2 weeks. These are the first 2 people that I've interacted with outside of the regulars that I interact with at the arena. And this is what we have. That is fucking grandiose and fantastic. My God. But anyway, Rebecca, while telling this story, Amanda came in the room and just, like, out of the blue, laid waste. I guess the young people would say, wow, what a weird flex. What a weird flex that is. Because without being asked, because all I was doing was giving the background of how I was talking to a woman who's about 6'5". She said, my name is Chi, used to be, and then said a different name. And I go, oh, are you transgender? And then everybody said, oh, Eric, you don't ever just ask that. And then Amanda said, you always ask the pronouns, dumbass. And I go, oh, I didn't know that. I thought, so I guess that's a softer way of asking that, figuring that out, as opposed to the way I did it. Of course, it was fine because I shared that there's a beautiful transgender man in my life, my beloved daughter's future husband. So that was smoothed over quite easily. So Amanda first tipped me off, yeah, Eric, from now on, ask the pronouns. Oh, okay. Nick says, just ask if they're pregnant while you're at it. That's a strong joke, Nick. It reminds me of a story I got to tell. Thank you. I'll come back to that, too. A second later, Amanda says, I don't believe in pronouns. And so then everybody started asking questions. She wrote, I don't believe in pronouns, but I respect people who use them. And now I didn't start asking questions. Everybody else started to ask questions to Amanda, but what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? And then she got frustrated with everybody asking her questions. And then I waited patiently to let her think that the coast was clear. And then I let her have it. And it was awesome. Aram says, you did that before at another wedding. You're right. I did that same goddamn thing. It was even worse, though. And I didn't learn anything from that one. This is twice now I've interacted with transgender people with the same question. I think maybe it's part of me is quite excitable at interacting with transgender people because of my relationship with my future son-in-law. And I know what type of shit those people go through on a regular basis or could eventually. So I'm always excited to approach these people and talk to them, and because I sometimes feel like there's not enough people in the world telling them how awesome they are, you know? And that's kind of where I'm coming from. And this was an especially young transgender person who probably gets all sorts of shit. And I walked up to this young lady, formerly a man, and I did that same thing. I go, You're transgender, aren't you? And I got this kind of like weird vibe. And I said, look, I love transgender people. My daughter is, I did the same spiel, the same exact spiel. And it kind of went over like a lead balloon. So I think that needs to be I think I need to do like what Corey is suggesting. Sometimes I think they want to be treated like a normal person and not like a zoo animal. Well, I can't. I mean, I understand what you're saying there, but I don't want to say that I treated them like a zoo animal. That's a little much because I go up and say, hello, how are you? I am. I'm proud. I even said to that young guy, I'm proud of you. This isn't the easiest thing. It takes a very, very brave person to do what you're doing. And being true to yourself is huge. And don't take any shit from anybody. And, this is coming from an old man. So that's what I was doing. I'm trying to be sweet. But if you guys, I need to get a consensus here. Was that consensus? I can't say it. Consensus. Bad or good on what I just described to you. Corey says, if you're trying to be sweet, it can come off like you're patronizing them. Well, maybe to a less skilled person. You understand. I am so awesome at conveying messages. Don't ever forget that there is no better communicator on the planet than me. No one can ever get a mixed message from me. So I don't know if it were a person less skilled, then perhaps you're right. Patrick says it was fine. Nick, with that comment, just ask if they're pregnant while you're at it. Which puts into my mind that I've had something like that happen. I've told this story many, many times. I went out to lunch with my pal Andy at WIMZ in Knoxville, Tennessee. It was in the middle of the summer of 2000. This sweet lady at the radio station went out to lunch with us. And she's very pregnant. Okay, so we sit down at lunch. And we're talking about workplace things. And I said, so, how are the preparations coming for the birth? Fine. I go, oh, cool. I go, did you get the room ready? I bet the room's got to be perfect, What is it, little boy? Little boy? Oh, okay. So what are we going with, like the blue room with like the horsies as the ribbon up top? What is that called? You got the rocking chair there? Oh, that's going to be awesome. Rocking him to sleep. And I'm going on and on and on. I've got young kids at the time. I'm only 30 years old. And I'm like laying it on thick with a trowel about how great it is to be a first-time mommy. And I see Andy. He's like fidgeting. And he starts kicking me. And so I go, ow. Hey, watch your feet there, big guy. And he goes, oh, sorry. And I continue. This is a few minutes of this. And a woman is seated across from me, and Andy's seated next to her. And I get kicked again as I continue to talk. Now, I didn't check my email before I went, but I guess an email did come in with this information that I then found out. But I noticed that as she was over her meal, that there was a drop of fluid that came off of her face into the meal. I go, so-and-so, I go, are you okay? Are you crying? And then I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm getting her so excited about this baby coming to town that she's starting to weep tears of joy. Oh, I am so great for getting this woman to show me how happy she is. She looks up at me and her face is all puffy. Nick says you need to change your name to Larry Zane. You're right. Everything I have is a Curb Your Enthusiasm interaction. And she goes, Eric. And her face is fucking wet as hell. And I'm like, what? What is it? She says, I lost the baby. I go, oh no! Now, the baby's like full grown, okay? The baby's like got a beard. It's so old. So she has to go through this whole ordeal. And here I am. Just before we went out, an email went out about, okay, all staff, rallying the troops. Just so you know, this has happened with this employee, and we're going to be doing outreach, and we're going to be supporting. In the meantime, just keep it on the down low. Just let the family navigate this, and we will reconvene as they sort this. I mean, it was like extremely set of rules. Don't do this. It was so bad. It seems like I read it and then was just trying to make her cry. In her mind, in Andy's mind, it had to have been that, like a malicious attack. That's how bad it was. And then all the puzzle pieces fit in my fucking brain about, I got bruises on my shin from this cocksucker kicking the shit out of me. And I'm like, oh no. Now, I don't remember anything after that except for the meal ends. Everybody's getting ready to go in their other directions. And Andy lights up a cigarette afterwards. He goes, here. And he gives me a cigarette. I go, what the fuck, man? He goes, what do you mean, what the fuck? Why don't you ever check your email? He goes, and I was kicking you the whole time. How could you not have figured out what was happening? And I'm like, dude, I don't know. This has been a regular thing for me for every year that I've been alive, every moment that I've been alive. Rebecca says, oh no. Stevie says, I don't remember this story at all. It's probably only made a few appearances. Megan says, holy fuck. Maureen says, oh my God. Yoda World says, did you high five her and tell her about how great it'll be to not have to save for college now? Corey says, Eric, afterwards, so is the room ready? So is the room ready or not? Ugh. I don't recall anything. I do know her first name, but I don't ever I have no idea, where she is. I don't follow her on Facebook. Megan says, first rule, don't ever ask a woman about her pregnancy unless she starts a conversation. That's absolutely true. And every time I've told this story, I've said that exact thing. And now I don't ask questions. I don't even, because occasionally you'll see a woman who looks pregnant but is not pregnant. Like she may have just been pregnant or she just happens to look pregnant because she's fat as shit. My God. Corey says you should find her on Facebook and say, hey, I remember a funny story, and retell the whole thing to her. Why would you even suggest such a thing? Nick says I wouldn't even have eaten. I'm gonna head out. Oh my God! Every time I go back to Knoxville, I see Andy, and we have this same discussion. It comes up every single time, and it starts with, Andy, do you remember? And he's like, yes, I remember. This is the guy who, in the one and only migraine that I've had in my life, I've had one. I guess it was. I don't know what it was, but I woke up thinking I was going to die, and it was a sudden, sharp, like 1 second to the next. Nothing wrong, and then all of a sudden gave me the idea that something very, very terrible happened in my brain, like I'm having a blood vessel issue that's causing pressure on my brain, and it's going to burst, and I'm going to die. So rather than calling 911, I said to Pooh Bear, I got to get to the hospital. And she says, okay, I'll have Andy come and get you. So she calls him. Now, we think he's at home, but he's not. He's at Moose's on the Strip at a foam party. You know, you walk in, there's all this fucking foam, and everybody dances, they get hammered, have sex in the foam. College kids. He's at Moose's in the station Rock Chariot. Now, the Rock Chariot had one of those antennas on the fucking top, like when you're doing the broadcast, you got to push this button, and the stupid antenna goes up, which, by the way, years before that, somebody left it up and drove through an intersection and hit a power line, and it fucked the whole thing up. He's up there like broadcasting live. Yeah, come to Moose's foam party. Yeah, and then he's wrapping up, and he's like putting the antenna down, and the bag phone rings. It's Pooh Bear. Yeah, how you doing? He didn't sound like Amanda, but he's like, yeah, hey. And she goes, yeah, and she explains what's happening. She goes, I'll be right there. But we don't know. Well, what we don't know is that he's fucking drunk. The Rock Chariot has yellow lights on the top of it, like just like a cop car, but yellow or orange. And like you pull up at the cell phone store, and you put up the antenna, and you put on the stupid lights, and people go, yeah, Rock Chariot. Kick ass. Let's go get some stickers and T-shirts and shit. He thinks that is going to like get him to me faster with the lights on. And now I think he's driving over in his car. But no, he comes flying into the driveway with the light flashers on. And he's like, come on, let's go, Rhyme. He used to call me Rhyme because of the whole Easy Rhyme thing. Rhyme, let's go. Come on. So I come on, I go, Jesus fucking Christ. I open up the front door, and I get into the passenger seat, and he's drunk. I can smell it. I go, Jesus, Andy. What the fuck? He goes, we'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It was a big, what was it called? An Excursion or something like that. It was some giant SUV. And he's running red lights, weaving in and out of traffic, getting me to St. Mary's. I get out of the emergency room. I go, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. And I was gone. And I stayed there for the rest of the night. They gave me like a shot of Thorazine, which had a miraculous effect. And I was throwing up. It was terrible. They actually did a scan on my brain to see if there was, because what I described to them sounded textbook like someone who's about to die. They took a look at my brain. They go, it's fine. You got a migraine. Here's some Thorazine. Whoa! Outstanding. All right. on a Friday, it's quite often like this, where I will have a list of things that I want to talk about. And for some reason, because it's Friday, it goes in like 5 different directions. And I haven't even talked about what I planned on talking about. The plan was to describe my interaction with the nice ladies at Flashback on Leonard. I did accomplish that goal. I knew that was going to be a winner story. I did not anticipate Amanda taking it in the direction that she did, but I'm so excited that she did do that. That was wonderful. I'm very happy with that result. There was some other things that I wrote down, but I don't remember where I wrote them. I think, okay, I do have this. I got one of my Free Beer and Hot Wings listeners who listens for the show and then tips me off when things get weird. Sent me this. 8:09, Friday, February 28. Creeper Free Beer. Quote, has Maitland ever 69'd? Guilty or innocent? So what you have there is a 55-year-old man looking at a 21-year-old girl, maybe. I don't know the context of that. I don't know what the setup was, but he looked at a coworker, and on the radio, a young woman, younger than any of my daughters, said, has Maitland ever 69'd? Is that what you're telling me? Oh, my God. And then is she, like, forced to answer? Does she have to go yes or no? Stevie says, hello, HR. I'd like to report. David says, that was on the air. Did I read Megan's? I crossed some HR boundaries, but that's a doozy. Bob says, oh, I heard this. It was bad. Patrick says, oh, no, what the fuck, dude? Chris says, it's another one of their dumb games, guilty or innocent. Yeah, I'm actually keeping a file. Of course, in what I do in pulling clips for Who Are These Free Beers, I do believe I have a Free Beer HR file. I thought I did. Okay, who are these free beers? These are the names of the folders. Kelly Cheese, Fake Cry, FB Basketball. When he says basketball, he says basketball. Free Beer Figure. He says the word figure like it's the N word with an F. Figure. Free Beer Low Key. That's a new thing he does. Free Beer Super Laughs. Free Beer Zingers. Fussy Free Beer. HR Trouble. I actually have a folder called HR Trouble. Just kidding. Kelly Cheese. Maitland is stupid. Pretty impressive. That's something he says. The Steve Echo Effect, something I haven't yet introduced to you. I haven't introduced the Pretty Impressive, the Steve Echo Effect, the Tattoo, and I haven't introduced to you HR Trouble. These are all things that happen regularly, but I have to establish several of them before I can illustrate what I'm trying to do. But I do have 3 clips in the Free Beer HR Trouble. I don't want to play them right now because I don't remember the context and I might have difficulty setting them up. But yes, I am keeping an HR file on behalf of the victims on the show who have to endure HR things. Now, the day is going to come when the women on that show are sick of Greg's shit. And so when they are, if they turn to me, I have an HR folder for them that they can utilize for their settlement. That I am doing that as a gratuitous thing for them. Jeremy says, can you establish a sing-along file? Seems like they do sing-alongs 3 to 4 times a week during Name That Tune. I can't tolerate it, so no. Patrick says, Zane's got multiple files on this asshole like he's Santa Claus. I love this. Stevie says, the fact that you have a file blows me away. You know what? I don't know the context, but I am going to play them. HR trouble. Now, all I have for context is what they're titled. This one is titled Small Boobs. Oh.
Ask anyone we work with. All we do is party.
Yeah, we can slap boobs all day long.
Just wish we had some.
Okay, yeah, that's a reference because the women on the show have referenced on the past that they don't have large breasts. So Greg makes that crack. Now, if I'm him, I don't make that crack, even though you can let them make that crack, but you don't want to make that crack because if you piss them off, they can come to Eric Zane, get this audio, and say, yes, he made that crack about me. And it's worth millions of dollars. So that's $1 million right there. Now, this one is titled Finger Up Ass. It's a 30-second clip. And I just want to play it first and then we'll come back. But in my gut, Greg is talking about Maitland sticking a finger up someone's ass or getting a finger up the ass. I don't remember entirely. Don't quote me on that. Let's see if this will cover it.
Maitland, you want to go next?
Yeah.
As a female, Maitland, how long before you drive your finger car up Cornhole Road to...
Okay, he's trying to euphemize how long before you stick your finger up a guy's ass.
Duodenum Town.
Okay, again, 21-year-old girl, 55-year-old man.
Maitland, you want to go next?
Yeah.
As a female, Maitland, how long before you drive your finger car up Cornhole Road to Duodenum Town with a new man?
Never.
But how long if you decided to?
Okay, she's not happy with that. Very uncomfortable.
Well, it's not 9 years.
She was dating a guy for 9 years. Too big of a laugh.
Got it.
Okay.
I don't know if she appreciated that. This one is called Browser History.
Maitland, silly or serious?
Silly.
Yeah, it's a similar game. You got to pick whether it's a silly question or a serious question.
Would you rather have your internet history be made public or a sex tape go viral?
My internet history.
What would be in there?
A lot of kitchen things where it's like, what's a good substitute for this?
Okay, so she's keeping it above board. Yeah, I don't have anything silly in my hair that would make me embarrassed in my history. I'm a pretty straight-laced young lady.
Or
Racy.
yeah, real crazy. Or just random knowledge that everybody knows. So it would just reveal how dumb I am.
Okay, now if it ended there, that's fine.
Are we talking regular history or incognito history?
All of it.
Okay.
There's incognito
She's not sure about that.
histories? That's a thing?
Do you use the incognito
No.
tabs on Gmail, or are you just pretending so we don't look at them?
No, I don't use it.
I bet it's filled with like Captain Stabbin and
Which is a porn site.
Oops, she needs a ride. That's Maitland's favorite. Hot Wings, silly or serious?
I'll do it.
Oh, I don't think she's buying into that comedy. That's weird. Chris says she said never, and he makes her answer anyway. Patrick says, I remember this from Who Are These Free Beers? Yoda World says, what a ghoul. Thing about Yoda World really doesn't know free beer from my years with him. He only knows free beer from the short time he's been involved with this show. He came to us from Who Are These Broadcasters? My God. This kind of lines up, though. Do you remember when we interviewed child actor Hayden Panettiere? At the time, she was on a show called Heroes. Prior to that, she had been in Remember the Titans as a precocious fan of the football team. And I don't remember the exact words used, but it was talking to her as being a fucking sex symbol or something like that. It was some weird, and we all went, ugh. So strange. God damn it. You got to quit that, man. Shut the fuck up. If there's going to be anything titillating on a show, it can't be across that line there that you keep running over. It can only be because the person who you want to make your audience titillated is doing the titillating, asshole. You can't ask her if she's guilty or innocent of doing a 69. Ah. It is so bad. Okay, before I break, Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV, right in the middle of Grand Rapids, 616-532-6600. Great place to get your car repaired, ervines.com. That's ervines.com. When it comes to insurance through the marketplace, Frank Fuss, mypolicyshop.com. Frank will help you out every step of the way, free of charge. You're like, I keep hearing about this marketplace, this Obamacare. I don't have health insurance. Is this what I do? Well, yes, you do, but have Frank help you with it every step of the way. It's a free thing. He doesn't even charge you. Go to buyinsurancehere.com. No matter where you are in the U.S., and Frank will help you. Buyinsurancehere.com. Tax season is right now. We've got a month and a half until the deadline. Go to Tag Accounting. Online at tagcpa.net. Anywhere in America, you can have Tag Accounting do your taxes. They have a phone number. If you want to call and talk to a person right now, 616-301-9516. Tyler, whatever happened with yours? Weren't you like, oh, my God, this was terrible? 616-301-9516 for Tag Accounting. Anywhere in America, they'll do your taxes for you. Just call, mention me, please, when you do that. All right. It is time for the infamous break. Okay? I think I'll only take one, maybe two. I don't know. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. Darla had to go out, so it took a little longer. Okay, now she's waiting back at the door. This might be a problem. Now, she's crying now. Aram says, did he talk about his foot in the mouth moment at the wedding? Yes, I did. So with her crying like this, she has to go again. I just let her out. I let her out, and then I went to the boys' room, and then by the time I got done, she's like at the door. But it wouldn't surprise me if she like just stood there, which is a problem. So I'm not feeling good. I mean, this is hot on the heels of just a handful of days ago. She took a leak on the couch. Everybody saw it. It was cringe of the week. So I'm going to go and let her out again. I apologize for this. So that's just the way it goes when you're a one-man show and you got your puppy dog. So just stand by. Just stand by. Sorry about all this, but unfortunately, these things happen from time to time. Come on, baby. Okay, she just stared at me again. I let her out there. We all go out. And she's on the top step staring at me. And I go, well, go. Nope. I'm just going to stand here. I go, all right. So I left him downstairs. I got work to do. I had an out-of-the-blue interaction with someone on Reddit. It was very strange. I'm not sure what prompted this. No, it's gone. Oh shit! I was gonna read that. Someone had reached out to me, and because you can like send a message, and it said, "I hate you and you suck." Okay, yeah, I do have it. Okay. For a second there, I thought I didn't have it. I hate you and you suck. So that was weird. So, I mean, I get this from time to time, but this one was interesting because it just kind of came out of the blue. And there's another Free Beer and Hot Wings subreddit that I had posted on, because there was usual conversation about people bitching about the show. This person had wrote, I'm new to listening to Free Beer and Hot Wings. I love the show, but can't stand Free Beer's fake laugh. Anyone feel the same? And then a lot of people weighed in on it. This is not the subreddit that I'm banned from. This is one that's actually called Free Beer and Hot Wings, not FBHW. And so, the usual people are dogging them. No one has anything positive. Well, actually, this one says, best advice is to find a different show to listen to. Well, that's, I guess, okay. Some people are like, I've been listening for 11 years and it'll pass. And then I wrote, the show is better than ever since Eric Zane got fired. And like this guy writes, why do you people listen to the show when you talk about how you hate it and how annoying they are? To the original poster of the show is funny, and the more you listen to it and get to know the show members, it gets better. I've been a fan for 15 years now. So I'm trolling at this point, and I write, sure thing, Greg. And then this comment comes in, and then from somebody who ended up deleting their comment, but I recognized the username because I then got a direct message from that person. It says, I hate you and you suck. I wrote, oh, you do not. Don't be so sore. Also, I do not suck. I am fantastic at everything I do. This person wrote, there's no changing a narcissist's mind. And that got me thinking. So I'm going to look up the traits of a narcissist, and we're going to go over them together to see if I am a narcissist. What I know off the top of my head is that a narcissist is like, isn't a narcissist always thinking about themselves? There's no changing a narcissist's mind, but for my own sanity, I need you to know how terrible of a person you are. You are a waste of life after everything you've destroyed and cried over. For the love of God, get a fucking life. I said there's a lot of things that I can be labeled as. A narcissist is not one of them, I think. Have we interacted in the past, like face-to-face? Are you possibly a former coworker? This person wrote, not a coworker, and yes, I've interacted with you before, and you're a narcissist. Nice try. And I wrote, aha! Now, I'd be happy to have a conversation with whoever this is, despite the aggressive attack. I mean, come on. I don't care. I wrote, what could you possibly have against me that could indicate that I am a narcissist? I'm not even sure what it is off the top of my head. Do you mind if I asked you 20 question-style questions to try to figure out who you are? I bet I can do it. No response. Don't get bashful on me now. I don't get a chance to talk to too many people, and you seem interesting to me. Now I'm starting to think. I wrote, I go pretty hard against my old show quite often. If I had to guess, I would say you are a friend, a family member, or one of those show members yourself. I could see why you would be upset. I get it. However, this could all have been avoided. 100% Greg's fault. Later on. Sorry, I keep coming back to write more after I think. Whoever you are, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I will answer any questions you have. Honestly, I have nothing to hide or fear. And I wrote, the only reason why you are not responding and why you've deleted your post on that thread is because you're realizing you've made a mistake and that I am quite rational and easy to speak with. You feel bad about picking the fight and you're trying to save face. It was nice talking to you, Kelly. See ya. Easy. So my conspiracy theory brain is that was Kelly Cheese. I think that person, Kelly, was being honest with the part. Yes, I have interacted with you. Because I did interact with Kelly after I made the announcement that her and Ross got divorced. She reached out to me, and we had a nice conversation. So I don't know where this is coming from, Kelly. This is ridiculous. Then, with the post being deleted and no commenting, I clearly got through to her, and this is where we are now. Jeremy says, this is the same person who called you and the Queen of the Forest trash in the FBHW subreddit last week. No. Tofus says you gave someone a fucking kidney. You aren't a narcissist. Let's see. Narcissists only think about themselves and only themselves. They are often sociopaths as well. Bob says she's probably tired of you making fun of her angelic voice. Now that I can agree with, that she has an angelic voice. I mean, can you imagine, if you see that you missed a phone call and you've got a voicemail, how excited you would be to listen to the voicemail?
Hi, Mr. Plant. My name is Kelly Cheeseborough. I am in the market for a young, desirable lawyer with long hair, beautiful body hair, and a big old dick. So I got a recommendation for you, so I was just going to give you a call. Anyway, I'm on my way from Greenville to Atlanta. I'll be at the airport in like 2.5 hours. Might have some time to stop and squeeze Ashley and Taylor, but just wanted to call and let you know I'm on the road and tell you that I love you and I can't wait to see you. Bye, baby.
That one came in well after the divorce. Weird. Thank you to my source for sending that my way. My source probably wouldn't want me to play that if you hadn't eviscerated him on the radio this week. I don't know. Weird. What was I going to talk about? Oh, shit. Oh, I wanted to go over whether or not I am a narcissist. Narcissist tendencies include behaviors such as having an exaggerated sense of self-importance. No, I don't think that what I'm doing is important. I don't think that me being an idiot on a podcast is important. It just happens to be something that people want to listen to and laugh at. I mean, I would have to say that I always have to treat it like it is important. Like people do want to hear it. It would be important to them that I keep doing it. So I guess I have a lack. I would have to have a lack of empathy, which not being able to put myself, I guess, into the shoes of someone else's feelings, maybe, I don't know, and exploiting others. These tendencies can be part of a narcissistic personality disorder, but have some narcissistic traits. Having some narcissistic traits don't necessarily mean someone has NPD. Grandiosity, having an exaggerated sense of self-importance or believing you are superior to others. Yeah, I think I got a touch of that, actually. I think there is a bit of that has seeped into my brain. It's weird, though. I acknowledge it and know that it's bullshit. So I don't really believe it. So I guess maybe not. You know, does that make any sense? Like, I guess how people could see that, but deep down, there's no way I think I'm actually better than anyone. Exploitation, taking advantage of others to get what you want. Can you think of any ways that I have exploited, been going through any type of like exploitation to get what I want? Some might suggest that exploiting crispy R's and whatnot.
Cars. Christmas, incredible. New
be
York, come to
exploiting.
Oregon, come here. Temperature, algorithms, incredible. For crust, cripple.
Can't,
Green cheese, you okay? 500. Small. So good.
In your booth, to your right, a white box.
One of everything. Fact.
I have exploited that. I have definitely exploited that to get what I want. And that is to make all of you throw up. Lack of empathy, not being able to recognize or understand the feelings of others. Envy, feeling envious of others or believing others are envious of you. Honestly, I don't think I have time for any of this shit. Arrogance, behaving in an arrogant or haughty way. Sense of entitlement, expecting special treatment or compliance from others, and fantasies, being preoccupied with fantasies of power, success, beauty, or love. Examples in relationships, demanding that others cater to your needs, ignoring others' feelings, using guilt, shame, threats, or violence to get what you want, feeling threatened when others gain independence. So, you know, and I don't even know if based on what the audience knows from me, like some of you only know me from what you see and hear. Now, I would like to think that what I do on this show is genuine, the real deal. Do you say genuine or genuine? I guess it depends. If I'm writing a song, genuine could be used to rhyme another word, and so could genuine. But I like genuine. Anyway, I digress. So I don't know. I mean, but a lot of you I know pretty well personally. Tophus says the closest you came to narcissism was Mr. 10. Let's see. Stevie says, wow, this sounds familiar. Oh, you've heard that before. It was the it wasn't me. It was the sound that I played. Tophus says, oy vey, stop, concerning the sound clips I was playing. Maureen says, I would say you are not a narcissist. I don't know. I think people who know me know that I'm not. But I could honestly, based on, like, for the trouble that I make, because I do make a lot of trouble for people, that I will admit to. And again, it's all based on butts in the seats, laughter. I'm trying to do something to be entertaining. Okay? I look at it no different than anything else that you may see or watch. And it just so happens that it all boils down to the whole who are these freebeers thing. I think that I've pissed enough people off that this is what I'm going to get, that type of assumptions on my character, which is totally cool. If I'm getting people telling me things like that, and I do think that that's who that was that reached out to me, that is good for business. That means I am on the right track. I am doing the right thing. You know, and I have said from the get-go, Kelly's my favorite member of that show. The other ones aren't worth a shit. I'm talking from a professional level, which is the only thing I can relate to. I can't relate to a personal level just because I talk to her ex-husband regularly and he tells me all of the dirty details that went on during that period of time doesn't mean I know her. I mean, I can only hear those stories from the ex-husband and get those voicemails. That's it. That doesn't mean I know her. All right. Tophus says you've done a lot of nice shit for people over the years. And I'm going to use that as a jumping off point because I have another example of my greatness, of how benevolent and altruistic I am. If you look up the word altruistic in the dictionary, you're going to see my face or face. There's not a T at the end of that word. I just said faced. The Grand Rapids Pit Bull Alliance. Some of my favorite people on God's green earth. Maureen's really going to love this. There's going to be a lot of wetness because of my connection to these folks. I am hosting trivia night with the Grand Rapids Pit Bull Alliance, and you need to be there. It is at City Built Brewing, March 11th, 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Celebrating St. Pity's Day. I will be there, and you are invited to go. Get your teams together. There's a little bit more information about this, about how you sign up. Like there's an Eventbrite thing, and I'm going to get to that, and I'll include it in the show notes. So I'm hosting. I'm reading the trivia questions. It's going to be awesome. There should be more here. Interested or going, I guess. That's all. But I don't know about tickets. Let's see. Event by City. Okay. Let's get ready. I don't know how you actually, if it's a ticketed event or you just show up. I thought that it would have this on the actual description of the event. All right, more details to follow. But just so you know, put it on your calendar for Tuesday the 11th. Grand Rapids Pit Bull Alliance Trivia Night Fundraiser. City Built Brewing. And you'll be out of there by 8:30. It's going to be a lot of fun. We can hang out. You and me and whoever else. That would also be a perfect opportunity for someone who is pissed off at me to meet me there and sit down and tell me what is on your mind. Maureen says I happen to be free that night. Patrick says that narcissist is a popular word to throw around these days. Yeah, I've seen that. A lot of people throw that word around. All right. Okay, let me see if that is... I have to check my notes. You right there, big guy? The latest round of government workers to be fired are the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration employees. They had like 11,000 and some hundred number of employees, scientists, and whatnot. And Elon Musk came in and fired a bunch of people. 560 to 8. The number is expected to be between 560 and 1,830 of those workers. These are people that will tell you about like weather trends. And I don't know. I guess I'm not entirely sure what the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration organization does, but I saw that one of the local meteorologists on Facebook did a post about how this has happened, and this is not good. Now, I don't know if she's right, and I don't know if anybody's right, and I don't know if anybody's wrong. But they went ahead and they fired everybody who was just hired. They, let's see, 560 to 1830 contingent upon the confirmation of Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, who oversees the agency. They had 11,758 workers in fiscal year 2023. So this could affect 10% of their employees. Firings continue today. Termination letters began going out to probationary employees at 3:30 yesterday. Probationary status applies to both recent hires and workers who have recently been promoted. Can you imagine that? Hey, welcome to the team. Staffers from Elon Musk's Doge walked into the NOAA offices earlier this month before Lutnick's confirmation. Lutnick denied any plans to dismantle the agency as Commerce Secretary, but Project 2025, the sweeping conservative government blueprint, calls for privatizing and reassigning nearly all of its functions. President Trump disavowed Project 2025 on the campaign trail, but then appointed several of its architects, including White House Budget Director Russell Vought. Several top Democrats condemned the firings. Musk's sham, Jared Huffman, Democrat from California, says, Musk's sham mission is bringing vital programs to a screeching halt. People nationwide depend on the NOAA for free, accurate forecasts, severe weather alerts, and emergency information. All right. So right there. That's why this is important. However, let's just do some easy math here. If you have 11,758, and then you take away 1,830, that leaves you now with 9,928 employees. Are you suggesting that that number of employees can't, do the work of the ones who left? And so basically, you'd redelegate the workload? Well, you're going to have to. So are you telling me now that because 1,830 people are gone, they will not get free, accurate forecasts, severe weather alerts, and emergency information? You see, you're going to have to back that up with a fact. I mean, you can't just say it. I mean, I want to be on your side, but at the end of the day, if they're cutting the budget, they're cutting the budget. Is just the way it is. Purging the government of scientists, experts, and career civil servants and slashing fundamental programs will cost lives, Huffman said in a statement. Yeah, I don't believe that. I think that's an overstatement. I don't think that someone's going to die in the next year because 9,928 people who can do the weather are stretched too thin. I think that that's a bullshit comment is what I'm telling you. My Democratic colleagues and I will keep fighting back in state and federal courts, in the halls of Congress, and the court of public opinion. This is a betrayal of the American people, and it will not stand. Well, I don't know if it's a betrayal of the American people. Again, I think you're overstating this. You might be right, but I don't think you are. And it is going to stand. There is literally nothing we can do. I mean, I would love it if we didn't have to do this. But again, this is the hand that we are dealt. There's nothing we can do about it. Yoda World says, this is what happens when you run up the credit card. Nobody gets to go to Disneyland anymore. Starman says, what about everybody who has died in storms over the past 10 years? How do they justify that? Chris says budget cuts happen in government jobs more often than what the media portrays it. Source, a government employee. Me, Chris writes. Tophus says those weather apps are all based on NOAA. Okay. I'm glad you said that. Because every American has this thing called a phone. And every American looks at the weather app once a day. Now, what I'm about to do right now will determine if these firings are justified. So this is where the rubber meets the road. Right now, the National Weather Service has issued a wind advisory. It's in red, and I know that it's high winds today. I also know, let's see here, the next 10 days' weather somehow, despite these 1,800 people being given their walking papers, I am still up to date on the next 10 days' weather. Look at that. I got the radar here telling me that there's a small front moving through Sault Ste. Marie. Other than that, the country's relatively clear of precipitation. You got a little bit of activity in the middle part of the state. And up by Duluth, they might be getting a rain or snow shower. So based on the fact that I have all this information on this app, I am here to tell you unequivocally that this was a baller move in getting rid of these 1,800 expendable employees who do not affect me whatsoever. In fact, I would continue the cuts and see how long you can get away with taking off 1,000 every Friday. And if the app does not actually slow down or give me fake information or no information at all, then the cuts keep coming. I think that with a little hard work, we can whittle this down to like a couple dudes in the United States. So if we cut it down to fire 11,698 people and everything's fine. Let's say the median salary was $65,000. My math has, we just made a savings of $760,370,000. So $750 million. So I think that this is a good thing. We need the NOAA wiped out. And this is like radio. This is why this is kind of like I have been in the industry that has been being cut for the past 30 years down to the bone. And so when I see this, it actually I'm happy. Every time government employees get wiped out, my dick gets a little bit more stiff. The only ones I don't want cut are the military. I take it back. They should fire all officers and just make it one juggernaut war machine. And there's only one person in charge, Trump. So he just says, blow everything up, and then everything gets blown up. We don't need these pesky colonels and generals and majors and lieutenants anymore. They're overpaid too. Tofus says, or the Pentagon. Yeah, fuck those guys. I think the entire country can be run by like about a dozen people. This all goes back to my thought about how every American should get $100,000. There's talk about Musk giving us a $5,000 check. I think it should be $100,000 for every tax-paying American who has put in all that they can each year for Social Security. All you jackasses who don't even pay any taxes because you make $14,000 a year, fuck you. You don't get $100,000. You got to clean the pool. All right. That is all I have to say about the recent firings with the weather people. Okay. The show is getting long in the tooth. I can feel it. I mean, I'm having a good time. But if I'm getting hungry, it's getting long in the tooth. TC Paintball is where you go to book a paintball event. Whether it's your group from work, whether it's a bachelor party, whether it's your kids for the youth leagues, reach out to TC Paintball. Online at tcpaintballgr.com. So much fun to book a paintball event at TC Paintball. Green Medicine Shop. This is our last day talking about the Green Medicine Shop for 6 whole months. They will be back for 6 months from now. Easy. Why is that? Well, typically how it goes, good businesses change up their marketing. And what they're doing is taking their marketing dollars and investing it in their internet-based marketing, or how they are setting up the infrastructure of their website. So I love them, and I'm very appreciative of them. And if you want to get any cannabis, maybe you already have a shop, but keep the Green Medicine Shop in mind. They have brand new dope deals every week. Go to thegreenmedicineshop.com for more information. Recreational use, 21 and up. Medicinal use, 18 and up with MedCard. Get the MedCard at thegreenmedicineshop.com. Grand Rapids Gold are in action coming up tonight for the Flint Tropics semi-pro tribute we have going on. Jackie Moon is going to wrestle a bear. I'll be there in my 70s gear, courtside. Go to NBAGrandRapids.com to get a pair of tickets. I get my hair cut at King's Room Barbershop, and so should you. It's a great place for dudes and chicks who want short hair to get their hair cut. It's going to cost you $19 plus tip. 3 locations. Northland Drive, Caledonia, and at 821 36th Street. When you go to kingsroom.net, there's a spot there. Give you the exact locations and schedules of when your stylist is working where. Make sure you mention me. Unlike Chris D and his girl hair, when he got a haircut cut the other day, he failed to mention me. Which how could you not be thinking of me like all the time? I still don't get that. Bob says the Weather Channel app already has a premium paid version. Because Tophus had wrote, it sure will be funny. Paying a monthly fee for an app to get weather warnings is going to be great. That's the thing about you, Tophus. You, like that lawmaker, have a tendency, no offense, to look into a crystal ball and to tell me and everyone here how the world is going to be because of something like this. Now ask yourself, rack your brain. When was the last time you said out loud to your friend circle or in this show something like that and then nothing ended up happening? Rack your brain. And if it's happened, I need to know about it. Nothing's going to happen. You aren't even going to think about these 1,800 people. In fact, you wouldn't even have thought about these 1,800 people had I not just talked about it. This is the type of shit that happens. People who follow too closely to these stories, I talk about them, and then it's pearl clutching. You got to learn to stop clutching pearls. Everything's going to be okay. Chris says the Weather Channel has for years had a paid app. Calm your fucking tits. Tophus calls Chris a see you next Tuesday. He says, look, see you next Tuesday. Sit over there in Buffalo and shut your cocksucker. Okay, now this is great. This is classic. It doesn't take much to get him going. Nick and I had this conversation the other day outside of the rink. I go, isn't it great when he blows his stack? And she goes, oh, my God, it's fantastic. Holy shit, he's doing it again. So that's what's happening. You can't go calling people that I love, which is all of you, cunts. All right, before I wrap up, don't forget about the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. You can call them at 231-332-6505. 231-332-6505. No matter where you are in the U.S., if you need to get into a mortgage, buy now, refinance later. They are awesome. I appreciate them so much. So keep them in the conversation when it comes to shopping around for your getting pre-approved for a mortgage for your home. 231-332-6505. Please mention me. All right. We have the asshole of the day, but we could go many directions. That was a late push by Tophus with all that tough talk. If Chris says calm your tits, that's more of just like a fun way of saying settle down. It seems to me like your response was a little strong. We also have a nomination for Amanda. Okay. Megan says, I don't get why we don't have red cards anymore. The only reason why I don't have red cards because I don't know where they are. And honestly, it's tough. It's tough for me to offer those because I have to be paying attention. I have to have the whole context. And it's tough for me sometimes to actually get the whole context because I'm doing this, I'm kind of like trying to wing it as best I can. Let me go back and see what's going on here because it appears to be escalating the rhetoric. Let's see. Calm down, Tophus, before you disintegrate a blood vessel like a bullet hitting water. Bob says. Jeremy says to Chris, they're not tits anymore. They're called Jens Gazongas. Get with the times. Chris says classic Tophus. Okay. Sit behind a computer screen and run your ball washer. You wouldn't have the nuts to say that to my face. Uh-oh. Now it's starting to get pretty intense. Tophus says, I just did. Well, kind of. I mean, it's kind of what, I mean, none of us are face-to-face, so I wouldn't say it's face-to-face. Stevie says, wow, what a day for the chat. Tophus then says, I totally would. And seeing as you live in New York, I'm sure you come to Albany every now and then. I would most certainly take you up on that challenge. Come on, man. Who are you? You were running your mouth, by the way, pot kettle. True, Megan. Megan, I think Eric may have lost the cards. I know it. Tophus. I wouldn't F with Chris from Buffalo. I don't give a fuck. Fuck him. Chris says, I'm over it. Size of the problem. Megan says, are you on blood pressure meds? Is this the beginning of the Easy MMA tournament? You threw the claim out there that I wouldn't have the nuts. Would you just stop? Quit being stupid. Why does everything have to be so explosive? You do that though. You'll be humming along, and then this all comes from calm your tits. You always your responses aren't appropriate. They always go over the top. You know, I think that's probably come to bite you in the ass. Take it from me. I have anger issues too, but Chris is the fucking best, you know? And you have a long history of being a cock. So I don't know, man. Just quit it. Just shut up for a minute. All right. The asshole of the day today. I have said many times, it's all about, with TC Paintball, what have you done for me lately? And since the thing that has happened most recently is all of this nonsense because of your hyperness, Tophus has earned yet another asshole of the day. Now, that is a late Tom Brady-like comeback. And you should be proud of that because Amanda had it won. All right? She had it won. Now look at you. You're all upset. And now we're going to get a 8-page message on Reddit. And then you're going to, we won't talk to you for like 4 days while you get your shit together and settle down. And you're going to break out in zits. You can't. This is stupid. All right. Well, we'll see you in a few days. My God. You are a tightly wound bugger, you are. Nick says he's turning into Mr. Tophus Kenny ass. Wow. Okay. Now I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Okay. All right. Thank you, folks. Have a good rest of your day. I hope to see some of you at the Grand Rapids Gold basketball game. NBAGrandRapids.com. You're an exceptional bunch. I appreciate you. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Slav getting in late. It's already March in Tasmania.